today I'm white churches to help us. Because you too are in the same boat that we are in. And next week, as we prepare for this Black History Rally, which should complete the job, we want you to know that you have a right to help too. Last week was a big week for the NACP Youth Council, but I'm happy to tell you that because of the leadership of Mr. and Mrs. Tucker, who sent $1,000 to help finish the job, Clara Luper went ahead. And wherever Letty Ruth Hunter, Nancy Davis, Mrs. Gloria Matthews, Marilyn Hildred, Calvert, the whole gang, put that in your book. Mrs. Salonia Bennett, Mrs. Cheryl Fowler, Mrs. Leola Ford. And remember that last week, although Clara Luper was not there, she went ahead. And it would be the same this week, because many of you that have not given one dime on that monument, you're going to come through. Because I don't want you walking up telling me how much you love me. I don't want you to tell me how you are praying for me. Because prayers without actions represent zero. Thank you, Janetta. Used to be known as Little Miss Jameson, now in Hoffman, Oklahoma. He took a pen and wrote a check for $1,000 in order that history would be perpetuated. This is the Clara Luper radio show, and today I'm talking about voters registration. I'm talking about the Oklahoma State Fair. I'm talking about the churches. There will be a parade today sponsored by the Tennis Association, and I would like for Miss Black Oklahoma City, Sherry Johnson, Miss Freedom P. Esther, Miss NACP, and all of you to get in contact with me, because you're supposed to be at 19th in Portland at 1 o'clock, and I want you there on time. Today's program is being brought to you by Elite to Repeat, located at 7308 Northwestern in Oklahoma City. The telephone number is 848-1595. Now, what I want you to do is to go out. Look at the fall clothes that are on sale at Elite Repeat, 7308 Northwestern in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. As Russell closes its doors, I would ask all of Russell's customers to go to Lamar's Beauty Supply, located at 1736 Northeast 23rd Street. Once again, Lamar's Beauty Supplies, 1736 Northeast 23rd Street in Oklahoma City. They will take care of all of your beauty needs. That's Lamar's Beauty Supply, 1736 Northeast 23rd Street in Oklahoma City. Speaking of care, it was Redeemer, 1530 Northeast Grand Boulevard. 1530 Northeast Grand Boulevard. Edwards Redeemer, where your people can get the best in care. The best. Edwards Redeemer, 1530 Northeast Grand Boulevard. What I would like for you to do is to go by and look. Look for yourself. Look at the facilities. Look at the care. Look at the efficient staff under the leadership of Mrs. Brown. Yes, this is the day. We are coming now to the closing days of the State Fair. I want you to be there. The next 20 minutes, I want to ask you a question. All over this country, they are taking polls to see who's the leading candidate for the presidential race. There are 3 now that's in the race. And I want to hear from the Clara Luper's radio audience, which candidate If you were going to vote today, who would you vote for? Would it be Bush, Ross Perot, or Clinton? This is Clara Luper. Hello.
Good morning to all the radio audience. Good morning, Clara Luper.
Well, thank you. And I was just talking about you on radio.
Well, I was really wondering if you were prepared.
I was thanking you because you are just a proven friend, a proven sister. You are just that lady.
They have to bring some of my friends out there they can believe the fish is that good. I said, we're going to go out there and have us a fish dinner. They said, oh, no, we just sandwich. That's all we're going to eat. Oh, okay. They got the sandwich. I'm getting me a dinner. I'm not going to sandwich. They said, no, we better get us a dinner because this fish is so good, we got to have us a dinner. So I'm telling the people that you go out there, don't stop at that sandwich. Just go ahead and get your full fish dinner, and then you will be on your fish. They got the fish dinner the first time they didn't have the sandwich. But they had to have the sandwich to fish good. The sea cat there is more than good. Those ladies, three of those ladies ate. But all three of those ladies came around and got them a full dinner because they wanted more fish. They said that was the best fish they've ever eaten in their lives. So, please go on out and eat some fish at Fish Cafe. And then I want to say, I'm so sorry that we're going to lose the enterprise that's here in my neighborhood. They have served us well. They have truly been an asset. And I want to congratulate her for that. Sorry that they are closing the enterprise. But we need more blacks in business. Now we can only stay in business if blacks.
You're exactly right, lady, and I appreciate that. CP has been called a catfish fryingologist, the king of frying catfish.
Well, that is true. And then I heard some others say that, that fish is really good. I don't know how he cooked that fish like that. I suppose that's the secret of cooking fish. So this is why you need to go out there. And you only have how many more days now?
Just today and tomorrow.
Today and tomorrow. So
and you can go out there now. CP is getting that catfish ready, and it'll be ready at 10 a.m. Later, we are conducting a poll to see which candidate the Clara Luper radio audience will vote for. And I want to ask you that $1,000 question. If the election was today, who would you vote for?
Well, now, Mrs. Luper, I like to keep my voting kind of secret. I don't like to publicly openly say who I'm going to vote for, because I get to look around and see how I'm standing with certain things.
Okay, now who today, on October the 3rd, 1992, who do you think is the most popular candidate for president?
Well, I can answer that question.
Okay, I answered. Maybe I got... Okay, I know you don't want to tell me who you're going to vote for.
No, but I can tell you who I think is the most popular.
Okay, which one?
And the most popular person, I think, is Clinton. That's who I think is the most
Clinton, one for Clinton. And let's go to this radio audience. Would you congratulate me? And I want you to tell the radio audience about that person from Hoffman, Oklahoma, who married a Californian, who gave how much to
that lady gave us $1,000.
Be sure to take her husband now, Kermit.
I don't like to say that I'm jealous. I just hate to say that I'm jealous. But Mrs. Matthews, Mrs. Fowler, Mrs. Floyd, Mrs. Bennett, Calvin Luper, Lady Ruth Hunter has been trying so hard in each of our drives to outdo you. And here this lady comes sending you $1,000. How can we win?
Oh, you can win when you go out and see your friends.
I'm one of my friends listening to me.
How many $1,000 friends you have?
I can't beat it, but just let me catch up.
Okay. Lady, thank you so very kindly.
It's the 15th, isn't it?
Huh?
I need to catch up with you. If I'm going to catch up, we need to catch up between now and the 15th, right?
Yes, and no, don't forget that big rally on the 12th. Okay, lady.
12th?
Yes, and I hope I'll see you today.
I got to catch up before the 12th.
Yes. Okay, we'll see. Okay. This is the Clara Luper radio show. Hello?
This is amazing.
Yes, you have the funeral and death announcements for me.
Yes.
Okay.
Rob Funeral Home announces the following services. Mrs. Lucindy Kemp Glover. Funeral will be Monday at 11 a.m. at the St. John Missionary Baptist Church. Funeral service for Mr. Felix Deere will be today at 11 a.m. in the chapel of the Rob Funeral Home. Funeral service for Mrs. Corrine Pointer will be today at 11 a.m. at the Allen Chapel Church. Funeral service for Mrs. Janetta Hopkins will be today also at 3 p.m. at the Greater Galilee Baptist Church. Funeral service Temple Funeral Home announces the following services. Services for Mr. David Johnson of 2908 Northeast 17th is pending with the Temple Funeral Home. We would like to say to the families today, beyond the gloom of the darkest night, there is an ever-shining light that can't be seen by human eye, but comes from God to you and I. Let us know we're not alone, that beaming from our heavenly home, God's love is ever present there, and we are always in his care. And back to Clara.
Thank you, Onita, and we join in extending our sympathy to the families. Clara Luper.
Good morning, Miss Luper.
Good morning.
I love you, and I love the show. And I just want to let you know I'm vote for Bill Clinton because the black race has been too much Reaganomics for the last 12 years, and we can't afford to go through another 4 years of Reaganomics and Bushonomics. And there's too many black men to incarcerate over 1 million black men in a penitentiary. That ought to tell every black person to go to the polls on 3rd of November and vote for Bill Clinton, and there I go.
Well, how do you think that could affect the black males? Do you think Reagan and Bush are responsible for blacks being in prison?
Mostly because Bush, he cut out all the social programs. He cut everything that would hurt the minority, period. Everything he could do in his power to cut it, he cut it, and that's one simple reason why the white race loves Reagan.
Now, don't say the white race. Don't put them all in the same boat. Because I've been out to the fair, and I've been around. There are a lot of whites that are supporting Ross Perot.
There are a lot of whites. Not all of us, agree with Reagan and Bush what they did. But I do think that mostly the social programs and everything was cut out under the Reagan administration, and then Bush said read his lips. He picked up where Ronald Reagan left off, and the black race can't afford to be hurt anymore because they're down at the peak right now, and that's why these black guys and women and everybody else, some whites and everything, they're doing everything. These people can barely make it. Times is hard, and Oklahoma gets on the radio on these TV stations and talk about how good the economy is picking up here. This economy ain't picking up at all.
Well, thank you so very kindly. Be sure now and call Clara Luper. Let me know how you feel. So far, the Clinton people are running ahead as far as people that think that Clinton would be the best president. This is the Clara Luper radio show, and certainly I would like to talk to you. The calls are coming in. If our line is busy, be sure and call again because we want to hear from you. What's your thinking? Who you think would make the best president? Let's see what you're saying. We do have some 12 minutes left, and we want to hear from you. Which candidate better suit your political appetite? We want you to get out and register and vote. And I'm so glad that I am registering many people. But I want to talk about J.D. Sharp, the sheriff of Oklahoma County. He has proven to be our friend. His support cannot be overlooked at all times. And I want you to examine the record, and I'm sure that you will get out not only and register, but you will encourage people to get out and vote for J.D. Sharp. That's not a paid political announcement. That's only a personal observation. And personal observations are very, very important. What do you think about the presidency? Well, one thing I can say for blacks and women, you are really missing the boat if you don't register. The beginning of this country, women were not allowed to vote just because they were women. Blacks were not allowed to vote because they were slaves. And finally, when the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments became history, they found that they could not vote because there were certain barriers. The grandfather's clause said to black people, you cannot vote unless your grandparents voted before the Civil War. The poll tax said to blacks, you cannot vote unless you pay your poll tax. And they had to decide between paying poll tax and buying some bread and meat for the family. And then came the literacy test, a test that I flunked. And I'm a graduate of Langston University and of Oklahoma University, and I flunked that literacy test. Now, you are smart, you passed. I remember some of the questions. Question number 1, what kind of boots did George Washington have on when he crossed the Potomac? Question number 2, how many words are there in the United States Constitution? Not articles, words. Another question, how many bubbles are there in a bar of soap? Question designed to keep blacks from voting. And then finally, the footsteps and the marches of the Ku Klux Klan, saying that if you vote, you die. How can any black, intelligent person not register to vote? Women denied the right to vote. How can you not register to vote? Shame on you. And I can say one thing, Martin Luther King was not killed until he was trying to get blacks and whites, poor people all over this nation to register in large numbers. You've got to register and vote, and you've got to make your voices heard. This is the Clara Luper radio show, and today I'm talking about voters registration. Calvin? Hello? Hello?
Hey, I'm not getting nothing.
Yes, Calvin, you are. We hear you.
Oh, okay. How you doing, Mama? We're out here. We're trying to make sure that we have all the radios that are here on Stagecoach Street tuned in to the Clara Luper radio show, because we're all, anxious to find out what you're saying, and we have tried, Cheryl was looking over here trying to figure out how many words there are in the Constitution. Is that a secret question? Or?
No, it's not a secret question. That was one of the questions that was on the test, that literacy test. And it was not until Martin Luther King and others marched, and the leadership of Lyndon Johnson, NACP and others. Okay, tell me about what's happening out there on
Be literate, But then I'm calling in because I wanted to remind you, the most intelligent listening audience in the whole world, that CP's Catfish is here on Stagecoach Street, next to the old-time photos, the Strawberry Newburgh, the mini donuts, and directly across from Ring 1, and looking at the bungee jump.
Okay, Cal.
To invite all of them out to come out and have the fun that we've been having here during the course of the 1992 Oklahoma State Fair.
Calvin, most people say they've had a time finding you. Would you give some directions how to come directly to CP's Catfish Cafe?
Well, right now I'm standing and I'm looking at the bungee plunge, which is next to the B-52 bombers, the big airplanes at the permanent exhibit here at the State Fair. Now I can look to the left and I see the State Fair arena. I can look down to the right and I see the clock. And I also see many donuts, but, what else can you say? We're in front of the State Fair arena, straight down, directly across from the B-52 bombers, looking at the bungee plunger, and you can't miss us, because we have the best catfish in the whole world, and those people who have had the opportunity to be a part of the 1992 State Fair know what we're talking about and are enjoying it. Catfish is out of sight.
How about your hot wings?
I was going to say the hot wings. They developed a clientele of their own. because they are the best hot wings that have ever been made. Thank you, Merlin, and Calvin Whitaker, but and Ellis Hilger, and all of us. But we've done a good job out here, and the people are extremely pleased with us. And I'm looking at some of our friends now that are getting ready to, to holler at you. But everybody's preparing for the mad rush, the mad influx of people that will be here for the fair, especially on this beautiful day that we're having.
Okay, and would you like to invite your friends?
Oh, Mom, and my friends already know that they are invited to not only come out to the fair, but it would really be great. They better come by the CP's Catfish Cafe. They don't have to order everything, but they ought to order something, because I know it's easy to find. Straight down from the State Fair Arena, across from the bungee plunge, looking at the B-52 bomber. If they can find the bungee plunge, which stands so high in the air, it's almost as high as a Space Needle, they ought to be able to find CP's Catfish Cafe.
CP's Catfish Cafe. Calvin, they've been talking about you at the bottom of the race. We're trying to finish the monument, and we're going to have all of our money in before November. Are you still?
Now. I know several people who are behind me. Somebody asked me that earlier this week. Calvin, why is it that you're so far back? I said, I'm not really that far back. It just depends on your outlook in life, I don't never look at a glass as half empty, it's just half full.
Do you think you will be able to beat your mother?
Well, Mom,
during the last month. This is the last month.
You run a good race, but I don't know if you got the stamina to last during the whole thing. Like I was saying, we need to stretch it out a little bit for you to continue your leadership and then continue the lead that you have. Even though good things happen to you during the course of the week, you still have a long way to go. We have a long way to go to make that monument a reality, and that's the most important thing.
The most important thing is that you will tell the audience that you could not beat your mother.
Well, I can't say that because I have all the plans, most definite plans, to have you tell your audience that your son Calvin did beat you in the race.
That will be the day. The day you beat me, Calvin, I'll walk from one end of Martin Luther King Avenue to the other one. That will be the day.
I realize that we got only a couple more minutes, and Mr. Wilson is here. We got fresh fish coming in and all.
Okay, let me speak to C.P. Wilson.
Okay. C.P., how are you doing?
Fine. Hello, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing fine. How's it going out to the fairground?
Oh, right now it's getting pretty good. The folks are here. They're coming in like mad. So we're trying our best to get prepared.
Now, you have been crowned as the Catfish Frying King, the Catfish Fryingologist. How do you feel?
It's, and those don't believe it, tell them, come on out here and see it. This is the last chance to ask them to come and visit us.
So you want them out there?
I want them out there today.
Today is the day. All of your friends, your church members, your Masonic brothers and all.
Everybody.
You want them out there.
Today.
Well, my friends will be there today. Not only that, my friends, my students, my relatives will keep me as the number one.
I had somebody else call me already now. Prepare for them. They'll be here.
Well, Mrs. Lyrics, I understand, ordered a group of catfish dinners and had them delivered at gate 23. Now, if you are out, give me that telephone number out there where people can order some catfish dinner. 948
4125.
4125. And when they call out there, you'll be saying, CP's Catfish Cafe, may I help you, please? The best catfish in the world.
Yeah, the lady wants to speak too. Just a minute.
Okay.
Not only the lady next door, this is the co-owner of the old-time photos, Mrs. Pearl Reader, when she's gone.
Yes, Pearl was on my show.
Pearl, how are you doing?
Pearl?
I'm fine.
Yeah, Pearl, you want the people to come out today and take those old-time pictures?
Yes. Is everybody going to come out?
Of course our people are going to come out. We love fairs.
Oh, good.
Well, tell us where to come.
We need them to come out and get their pictures done, dressed up in costumes.
And you have the costumes out there already?
Yes, they're already here and they're all ready to go. We're all ready to take pictures.
We are all ready. We are all ready to go. And ladies and gentlemen, we are all ready to go. And I would like to thank those of you at the fairground. And this is Clara Luper urging you to get out and register and in order that you can vote. Now, when you vote for the person that you feel will do the best job. As I look at the clock on the wall, I know it's time for me to say goodbye, but I want to say something to you. Aren't you tired of seeing our young people die? Aren't you tired of seeing our young people fighting each other about colors or about nothing? Aren't you tired of seeing our young people confined to the jails? Let me tell you something, young people. I want you to be the best. Not the best thief, but the best person. And I would like to close today with what my grandmother taught me. She said, Clara, hold up your hands and say, with these black hands, I will not steal anything from anybody. And I know if she was living today, she would say, I would not write on anybody's walls. I would not hurt anyone. I would just do good because it's right. This is Clara Luper on her way to the state fair, and I'll see you there. Those of you that's not registered, just let me know. Join this registration drive. And from now on, I want you to know I love you. Bye-bye.
The station where you hear the Word of God, both through the Word and song. KTLV, AM 1220, Midwest City, Oklahoma City.
Remember.